Yo, what's going on, guys? And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about NBA 2K22. If you guys do remember, the last time I talked about NBA 2K22 was when they dropped like some information about like what the game going to be kind of looking like. We didn't get a trailer, but basically they talked about what the game's going to look like, and the release date and the cover, athletes and all that. But in today's video, I'm going to be going over, the sad news that, 2K could possibly be getting delayed, and I'll give some more information about that. And also, kind of near the end of the video or middle, whatever, I don't know, whenever I get to it, I'm going to be talking about, like, because I already had this video planned out. They dropped out of my head, though. Like, they dropped out of my head. The ratings just came out. I think that they dropped, like, the top 10 ratings, in 2K, which, there's some controversial stuff in there, and the top shooters and dunkers and all that. So without further ado, so let's get started off by saying, is it an over exaggeration to say that it could get delayed? No, and let me tell you why. So in 2K's history, the game's never been delayed. And we've always had information at least 3 weeks before launch. And the reason why I'm saying at least 3 weeks is because we're 3 weeks away from launch day. Do I expect it to get delayed? Yes, I do. And the reason why, and if you guys want a better explanation, because I feel like I might not explain this well enough, basically half of this video came from Agent Zero's video, so I'll link his video down in the description. If you guys want more information, you guys can go check that out down below. But basically, in NBA 2K's whole entire history, there's never been delayed. And I just went over this point again, but we've never really had this much information 3 weeks before the game's launch. It never happens except in EA games, which is going to bring me my next point. EA, like almost every EA game, not even just EA Sports, every EA Sports game really, but almost every EA game gets delayed at some point. And it usually, 2K's kind of following that cycle this year, where like Madden, they drop a few screenshots. They have like a big press conference on Twitch or whatever. They have a big live stream, um, and then they don't really give them any information besides that. They just kind of talk about features in the game and basically what 2K only told us. And they don't really show us any gameplay or anything. They just show screenshots of like players that are going to different teams and all that, and they release the cover, but they don't really talk about anything until like weeks before launch, and then it gets delayed, and then we get some information and gameplay, and then yeah. Well, 2K is following that cycle. All we've had is like a TikToks from Mike Wang and NBA 2K about what the game is. We've had the cover drops, which I'm really happy about. If you guys didn't know, I'm a Mavericks fan, so yeah. But and then all over their Instagram and all over social media, they've just been posting pictures of Lonzo Ball on the Bulls and DeMar DeRozan on the Bulls and Russell Westbrook on the Lakers. Basically just showing screenshots of NBA 2K, like next gen, just screenshots of that. Showing teams on their new threads and all that. And then today obviously they dropped their the ratings, and I'll get to that in a second. But here's why I think it's going to get delayed, because 2K, obviously I made this point a million times, but 2K has never done this before, and why wouldn't it? Okay, there's no here, if it doesn't get delayed, then we have to at least get a trailer or some big news where they show some type of gameplay or some type of trailer, and the next couple of days, if it's not going to get delayed, because we're 3 weeks out. They're not going to drop a trailer a week or two before the game actually comes out, just now showing the gameplay, because that's how you lose sales. That's how you use pre-sales, and pre-sales are very important. You could be like, oh, wow, when they buy the game they can just get the sales. Well, then if you don't show a trailer and the gameplay, nobody's really gonna want to buy that. In pre-sales, that's how you get your money, now, you get it right now, so you can upgrade the game before the game last second fixes. You have plenty of money to do that, plenty of money going into the game to update it when everyone starts playing. We get updates. They have plenty of money, and pre-sales are very important when it comes to I guess the business aspects of video games and marketing. So, in 2K, they love their money. I mean, like they would rather not spend 1% of their salary to a charity to get Charles Barkley in the game, than let down their fans. But that's another topic for another day if I ever get to that. But Ronnie loves his money. So there's no real reason why they would just like. First of all, what's the reason for to just go quiet and then 2 weeks before the game releases, you drop a trailer? That ruins the whole aspect of pre-sales. I mean, you're not gonna get like a millions of pre-sales in 2 weeks. That's just not realistic at all. But my other, conclusion, my other thing is, I mean, it could get canceled. Do I believe it will get canceled? No, I don't think it'll get canceled. Because I mean, some people think canceled means like really far in the future we can maybe get a drop. No, canceled on my books at least means we're not getting a 2K22. The next game that'll come out will be 2K23 or something. I don't see that happening. They already have a bunch of screenshots and everything like that. I know I just was complaining about how the screenshots really show nothing, but yeah, the screenshots really don't show anything. But I mean, there is something there, and they made a bunch of updates and all that to the game, and this, so there's still a game there. I think that there's about 100% chance it's gonna get delayed. And if it does drop in 2 weeks, which it won't, it's going to be very buggy and glitchy. When I think after it gets delayed, it'll still be very buggy and glitchy. And a lot of people are blaming it, being like, hey, well, next gen, right? I mean, like, they're still working on crossing over. Yeah, I understand that. They had a lot of bugs, glitches, and the game just really wasn't good on 2K21 next gen. So I do see they have a little bit of breathing room for that. But no breathing room for just them not dropping any information about the game 3 weeks before the launch. Like that's even if like that's their excuse or whatever, they would probably say that, but they're just not. So that's the end for the segment number 1 of just like the disappointing news. You know, and you might be like, oh, this isn't that bad. Why are you making the title like that, and why why is your thumbnail so sad? Well, I just want to be quirky, okay? So yeah, I just want to get the clicks, I want to get the views, okay? So I'm gonna move on to my second topic in this video, and that is the ranking. So I'm gonna pull out my phone right here, and I'm gonna go over the top 10 players, and the top 3-point shooters and top dunkers. So number 10 of the overall is Damian Lillard. He gets a 94 overall. I understand. I agree with that one. Number 9 is James Harden. He's also tied with the 94 overall. I agree too. He wasn't really up to par with his previous seasons with the Nets, which is obviously it's understandable because he's got 2 other superstars on his team along with himself. Actually, no, 3 others. So I don't know. Is Blake Griffin a superstar? Let me know in the comment. Let me know down in the comments if Blake Griffin, if you think he's still a superstar. But also tied with the 94 overall is Luka Doncic. And now, okay, like if you know NBA2K, they treated Luka Doncic terrible in the past. Like they make him terrible in the game, and like they just treat him like white trash or something, bro. But he finally gets in the cover. Dirk finally gets in the cover. I thought it was going to be something different, but they even 94. I mean, I know it's only 1 overall, but I think he's at least a 95. Especially since he's on the cover, he's at least a 95, I don't think he's a 96 because every, really, GOAT player in the league is 96, and I'll get to that in a second, but he's at least a 95 because, Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic are 95. Luka's better than those guys. Like, come on now. But yeah, Joel Embiid gets a 95. Nikola Jokic gets 95. They're arguably, the 2 best centers in the league. Obviously, because they were 2 finalists for the MVP, along with Steph Curry, who's coming in at number 4 with a 96 overall. So he's the first 96 overall player. I totally agree with this one. I saw LeBron on Twitter saying that Kevin Durant and Curry, should totally be a 99. I do agree with the KD one, which I'll get to that one in a second. But Steph Curry, I feel like he should be in 97. I know these ones like I want them to be like a one overall higher. I just I mean ratings are like I mean that's I mean it can make a very big difference. So yeah, I do think Steph Curry should be a 97. Giannis Akangpo, but Giannis Antetokounmpo also gets a 96. He comes in third place. Well, I guess tied for first really. But I do think he should be like at least a 98. Especially since he carried the Bucks to the championship and carried them in the championship. People do say there's a big three there in the Bucks. I don't see it. I mean, yeah, Drew Holiday. I don't know. Chris Middleton, maybe there's a slight duo there with him and Giannis, but I don't see the big three. But now coming in number two, which is the most controversial one, is Kevin Durant, who's tied for first also with the 96. And keep in mind, this is what 2K does every year. Like the highest overall to go. Besides once a year, it seems like, except this year, I guess they dropped like a 99, and then and then everyone else for tied for first or whatever is like a 97 or something. But yeah, so yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.